Okay guys, this is it. Thanks for picking up this DVD. My name is Jay, and we're going to go on a little journey with you, and then we're going to talk about what it takes to be a number 10 soccer player. Right? If you play soccer and you want to be the guy that stands out, you want to be the guy that people come out to watch, you want to be the guy that makes, some of the spectacular plays that you see the Messi's and the Ronaldinho's and Neymar's do, and you want to be that flashy, right? And you want to take your teams to championships and win trophies, and at the end of the day, you want to be the type of guy that your name is talked about after a career. Well, there are a lot of things that you must learn, right? Because when you see those guys do those things, they didn't just wake up one day and boom, they knew how to do them. Those are things that you learn to do over years and years and years of playing soccer and practicing. Now, of course, there are some guys that are more adept with them and are more natural, but any soccer skills that you watch, you can actually pretty much do it after a certain number of drills in practice. And so what this video does, this whole series, is going to groom you and develop you into a better player. Not just a better player, but a very skillful player, a player who is at the level of wearing the number 10, which is why the series is called Ultimate Skills, Soccer's Number 10. And we're emphasizing the number 10 because, of course, in soccer, when you wear the number 10, you expect it to be the type of player that makes plays happen, right? The type of player that attacks the defense, breaks down the defense, dribbles past a number of guys, and do some, flashy elastics and some spectacular stuff, and just breaks through a defense and scores over and over and over again. And as you may know, this whole notion of the number 10 started off with Pele, when Pele got into sports and some of the very spectacular stuff he was doing, and he wore the number 10. And ever since then, everyone that came after him that was as good, well, not as good, but that was very good and playing in an offense forward position or striker, they wore the number 10. And so the reason why we're emphasizing on this particular position in the sport, being the number 10, is because the number 10, mind you, is, again, the type of player on whom the rest of the team, in a way, kind of relies on. Although you're in a forward position, but once the ball is catapulted forward and it finds its way in your feet, the crowd and the rest of the players are looking at you. They're all waiting on you to make plays happen and to score, right? And so you've got to have a good number of skills to be able to do that. And those are not skills that you just wake up and know how to do. Soccer, many may not understand. For some people it looks boring, but it's a very crafty sport. It's a sport about control. It's about angles. It's a sport about balance. It's a sport about having a whole understanding of the whole field, and kind of like being able to see a 6D, so to speak, and understanding, what you can do with the ball and how you're going to break down your opponent. By breaking down, I mean going past your opponent or moving the ball forward past your opponent. It is that type of sport. And as a player, right, an average player, you may be playing soccer in the field with the ball, and you just waving the ball around, you kicking it around on the field, you're not coordinated, you're just moving the ball forward. But a very technical player will know, hey, this guy is still at a mature level, because we'll be able to tell. But to some other people, mind you, they look at it, like, this is boring. This is just some dude kicking the ball around. But it's a very demanding sport. When you look at it versus basketball, for instance, basketball, you're playing the ball with your hands. And as a human being, of course, you're supposed to be able to have more control with your hands than you do with your feet. And in the case of soccer, you're actually using your feet to control the ball. So it's a very demanding sport. It's a very technical sport. It's a beautiful sport. Don't let the American public, fool you into thinking, it's a boring sport. It's actually a very exciting sport. It's the most favorite sport in the world. It has been forever. American football is not. And soccer is now growing in the United States. It has gone past the NHL. I think it is going past maybe baseball. It is growing. And so parents, if you have a child that is interested in playing soccer, by all means, give them all the tools and support that they need to do that, because they're going to be able to do well. They're going to be able to travel and make a lot of money. You know, get a little bit of fame here and there, right? So it's a good thing to be receptive of soccer. It's growing in this country. So let me get back to the number 10 situation, which is the idea for this series. It is soccer's number 10. So what we're going to focus on is developing a number 10 soccer player mentality, which means that you are an attacker. You break down a defense and score. You are a striker. You are a forward player, and you're supposed to be able to have a huge amount of skills in the fashion of Pele, Maradona, Ronaldinho's, Ronaldo's, and CR7s, and Neymar, and those guys, and Messi. That's what we're here to develop you into. Now, when you see those guys do those things, you are in wonder. You're like, okay, well, I just saw it. It's beautiful, but how did it happen? Well, we're here to break it down for you, how it happens, why it happened this way, and what type of timing did it need to do that. We're going to explain those to you and give you the type of notions necessary in order for you to be able to put them in practice. And you're going to be able to visualize it in a broken down fashion so you can grasp the whole technique and rehearse it and become like an expert at it. That's what we expect you to be able to do. But this whole thing is going to groom you as an overall great player, great offensive player, taking into account your dribbling, your passing, your intercepting, your guarding, your breaking down the defense, your physique, your control of the ball, you're keeping the ball glued to your feet. Because as a number 10, you're required to be able to do that, control the ball, going through players, even when you being ambushed by 2, 3, even 4, 5 players, being able to keep the ball to you. Because as I said, this sport is about angles and balance. Balance for yourself, balance as far as getting the person that's guarding you out of balance. And all that takes a lot of time is a little juke. Right? You see it in basketball all the time. This guy does a little juke and the crossover, boom, and the guy goes sliding on the court. A lot of this happens in soccer. And when you have this ability, you can break through 2, 3, 4 players by, you know, just this little ability and the right angles and the right positioning of the ball. And one of the things that you need to begin to develop is the ability to keep the ball glued to you. And there's a technique, a type of drill that we're going to teach you as far as that goes, your ability to know where the ball is without even looking at the ball. Right, so we'll do this step. So we're emphasizing a number 10 soccer player. Why that is because soccer is a very flavorful sport. Now, there are coaches that teach players how to be good players, develop good team member players, good passing players that can make plays happen. But one of the things that they fail to do is develop the type of Pele type players, right? The type of players that can make things happen despite the circumstance. The reason we're emphasizing that is because soccer, and some coaches make the mistake of doing that, they don't understand that soccer is a forward playing sport. It is not a sport that you keep on going backward. I've seen coaches that utilize a technique of passing the ball back. I've seen teams pass the ball back to their goalkeepers like 2, 3 times during one play, one possession. If a player or not does that, he'll be benched for a couple of games because soccer is a forward playing sport, meaning if you have space, you go forward. You don't have to pass the ball. I mean, a coach will tell you pass the ball, but you don't have to if you have space, right? And if you can dribble past an opponent, you do so, or a couple. But what you do after that, because see, the more players you go past, the more terrain you acquire, the closer you are to the goalkeeper, and the more opening you've created for an easier pass to a team member, right? So you go past a couple of players. That's what a number 10 does. That's what Pele did beautifully. Garincha, Ronaldo, Bebeto, Good Gullit, those, you know, Maradona. You know what I mean? Those guys were good at doing things like that. Ronaldinho's, they would go through a few players and create openings for themselves or a team member. And so we're going to be teaching you how to do that and understand why and when exactly you can do that. You don't go about doing that all the time, but there are times when you've got to pick up some terrain. If a guy give you some field, just pick up on some field and get closer to the goalkeeper. Then you might just kick from that distance and score. So we're going to be teaching you from your kicking, your free kicking, your penalty shooting, your control of the ball from either side of the field, your attacking midfield, sideways, and different positioning. Your dribbling particularly. Your dribbling facing forward, your dribbling on the side, and your dribbling weaving through several players. All sorts of techniques that you're going to learn, and we're going to teach you the type of angles and the type of jukes that you're supposed to do to get a player or a couple of players out of balance. We're going to teach you how to take advantage of space between several players. We're going to teach you how to glue the ball to you, how to protect the ball, even though a player is trying to kick it away from you, but they cannot reach it. It would be as if you're like two boxers, right? And you have longer reach than another guy, and you extend your arm out and keeping this guy at bay. They cannot touch the ball. They cannot touch you. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to try and groom you. That try, we will succeed in that if you watch this video and practice the many things that we're going to teach you in there. We hope that those are skills that you will learn and that you'll put in practice throughout your career, and that they can benefit you for many years to come. Sorry for the long intro, but I wanted to break it down in this pattern with an overall understanding of what this series is and what soccer is and how beautiful the sport is. I personally am the tactical coach, so what I do is I go live and teach those guys how to implement those skills on the field, so when they go out there and face an opposing team, they can just make quick work out of them. The more agile you are with those skills, and the more of your players in your team are agile in those skills, the more you're going to be able to play with each other, the easier it'll be to just simply break down another team. So learn that. Keep those skills to yourselves, however. You don't want to pass it over to everyone, because those are skills that you're learning to set yourself apart. So when you go out there, you start doing some fanciful things, guys may wonder, oh, how did you do that? That's new. I've never seen that before. Well, you learn it from this series, Ultimate Skills, Suckers number 10.
And he made a real hash of it.